if they really told us the real truth, like they're scared that we're gonna like rebel or whatever. And it's like, hey, look, let's just acknowledge the truth. I've heard someone say like, people want to tear down statues or whatever. No, just put a little plaque that says this person was a slave owner. That's better than tearing down the statue. More educational. Yeah, look at Robert E. Lee or whatever, or Nathan Bedford Forrest. Yeah, okay, yeah, but this is also what they did. Didn't know about that. This person was a slave owner. Yeah, and they have a street named after them, but yeah, they were also a slave owner. Think about that. That's how different the world was. But yeah, connected. There's still a street named after that person. There's still a school named after that person. And again, I'm not saying that we have to tear down statues and do that, but I'm saying, let's be honest. Let's talk about it. It's the truth. It happened.
Right. Yeah. I don't understand why, and this seems to be a very recent American phenomenon, that we can't accept that two things can be true at once. Mm. You can say, hey, that person was a really important figure in history, and he owned slaves. Like, I don't know why there has to be this intellectual purism on everything. Yeah. Like, you and I are really...
The statue's not going to do anything.
No.
Because then that history is just going to be further pushed down to the bottom.
Yeah, two things can be true at once. You and I can be really good friends, and we can admit that I've probably said some shit in a locker room or in the army or made some jokes that you would not be proud of me saying, right? Two things can be true at once. And I don't know why Americans have now got to this point where we have to have this intellectual or racial or political purity. It's like with the Democrats, there's some shit I agree with. There's some shit I really disagree with. With the Republicans, there's some shit I disagree with. There's some shit I really disagree with. I fall in the middle as a libertarian. I know 100 libertarians. I venomously disagree with a lot of their political positions. Like, why does there have to be this purity test? It's so crazy to me. Yeah. And yeah, I like your idea of like, yeah, leave the fucking statue up and put a plaque that explains the good shit and the bad shit that he did. And I don't know, let people be educated.
Yeah.
Crazy thought, right?
But that's dangerous though, because, we are getting closer to the Matrix. It seemed like it was such a far off, futuristic, kind of hokey sort of idea, but more and more, I think I see ourselves inching to that sort of society where it's like, they didn't really teach us to be critical thinkers. They taught us to be good employees, good workers, follow direction, shut up when someone's talking, be respectful. And like, when we're taught to follow rules and follow directions and authority. I mean, I'm generalizing. I'm talking about public school.
Yeah, totally.
90s. But yeah, that's what they tried to teach us. They didn't necessarily teach us to be critical thinkers, but that's something that you actually have to have, in this lifetime. And yeah, the critical thinking is less and less and less embraced. It's more and more about following what someone said, and you don't even know if what they're saying is true or not, or real or not. It's just, no, you believe it. It's on TV. Come on. Right? Believe it. Do it. Follow it. Yeah. And yeah, it's we've seen that movie. I didn't see the whole movie. I just saw like the first half of it. Is Idiocracy?
Yeah. Very prophetic.
But
prophetic.
It came out in 96, and if you look at it now, there are some parallels in there that have really come true.
Yeah.
Mike Judge was on something. He saw the future.
Yeah, comedy usually has such a insane vein of truth to it, and it's one of the things.
Comedy, I love it. It's my favorite artistic art or form.
Yeah, I love it, and it bugs me that so many comedians are getting canceled now or told what they can't say this, because I'm like, man, every joke, every stereotype, every prejudice, some of the ways you bring that to the surface is through comedy, right? Because it's like it's a safe space to talk about shit that like we probably need to talk about.
By definition, especially stand-up comedy, but comedy itself, but I say especially stand-up comedy, is built on being edgy. You have to, there's no one wants to hear you stand up and say stuff that they're already like thinking or whatever, or there's stuff that they've already said. There's nothing original about that. It's about that person saying things that you don't have the bravery and courage to say, or presenting ideas to you that you never even thought of. You know, it's on the edge, right? We're on the stand-up comedy is always something that's got to be on the edge, you know. And that the thing that I love about stand-up comedy is that, you know, you're a singer, you're a actor or whatever, a dancer. At the end of your performance, they'll still do this, just out of, you know, respect.
Yeah.
They'll boo you if you're a stand-up comedian. Even the most, you know, sort of friendly crowds. I mean, maybe they won't boo you, but they'll talk over you.
Yeah.
They won't give you your attention. And, you know, that there's something about the adversarial nature of that where it's like, you don't know who I am or what I'm going to say, but I'm going to hold your attention for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe even an hour. You know, Dave Chappelle, I've seen him go on for like 3 hours.
Dude, he's the greatest of all time.
He's definitely
The GOAT.
one of the GOATs. I mean, I still got to put Eddie up there because, you know, like Raw, Delirious, you know, some of that stuff's just, it's so vintage, it's so incredible. But yeah, I mean, right now we're talking about GOATs. Dave, definitely